And what's up, hockey fans, and welcome to episode number 66 of Marty's Illegal Stick Hockey Podcast. Recording here on Wednesday, March 2nd, 2022. Number 66, a key-centered show here tonight, which I'm just looking so forward to. And before we bring our first guest in, I'm going to introduce my panel. Sitting right next to me, the guy who just knows how to push all the buttons here in the studio, one way or another.
Especially yours.
All the time. It's our producer, Mr. Dave the Save Warner. What's going on?
Not much. How you doing?
I'm ready to rock and roll, man.
All right.
I've been wound up and ready to go for this all day long.
For like 2 days.
I know.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I can barely contain myself.
I know.
And our co-host coming to us live via satellite. First of all, the man who has become quite the baseball card extraordinaire. He's got the followers up the yin-yang on TikTok, showing everybody how it is to open those cards and what you're looking for. It's the one, it's the only, it's the Macho Dom. Dom Real. What's up, buddy?
I'm going to give my introduction by using a quote that I received today from one of our best Utica college players currently. I responded to his story posting all the awards, said bad weekend to be Wilkes, and he said it's always a bad weekend when you're not UC. So go Pioneers.
Wow. Awesome. Hey, I like it.
Awesome. Shout out John Malkovich.
Oh, God.
End of the show.
Big bad John Malkovich. Nice. Nice. And our other co-host, he is coming to us live via satellite as well. He is the master of all things, all the little things, if you will.
All the little things, yes. Oh, Jesus.
He is the Professor Jeremy Roberts. What's up, buddy?
What's up? I'm never going to live that down.
No, you're not.
I'm never going to live that.
Do you want to have a ceremony where you burn it?
I'm going to send the same sign out to Dale. I actually texted him today.
Did you? How'd that go?
It went about as well as expected. He's chasing bears, cutting down trees, being a lumberjack.
Is he naked?
Most times. Most times.
So Josh, by the way, in the comments.
I can send you a picture of what
I'm good on that.
Well,
I'm
yeah,
sure.
I was just going to say, we'll stick with the text. Thanks anyway.
We could pop it up.
No, we won't.
It's championship week. How dare you?
Yeah, right, exactly.
Championship week. How dare you?
Well, anyways, Dom just mentioned the Utica Pioneers and the incredible run they're on. And our guest tonight is, you could call him a Pioneers legend. There it is, right there at the towel. I love it. This guy played 2 seasons for then the Utica College Pioneers. And I was going through the record book a little bit earlier, and it's got a lot of entries in there. Amongst them, he holds the all-time school record for shorthanded goals scored with 7. He's tied for 8th all-time with the Pioneers for goals scored at 34. Tied for 4th all-time in power play goals at 13. Let's see, 6th all-time in assists per game at 0.81. I'm just going to bring him in. It's Mr. Roman Ammirato. What's up, buddy?
How you doing, guys? Good to be here.
Thank you. Thank you for coming on. This is great.
He's like, wow, I had a heck of a run, eh?
Yeah. It's just good. Well, I was looking at that and going, my God. I knew the guy was good, but geez.
Distributes the puck, bud.
Exactly. So how's it going?
It's good, guys. I'm just living my life in South Jersey.
Yeah,
Watching some bad hockey with the Flyers and following UC, you know? That's about it.
Man. Oh.
Well, hey, at least you got the good hockky with UC, though.
Yeah. Golf season's about to start, so shit, can't get much better than that. So.
That's right.
Valid.
It's funny. Rowan just mentioned South Jersey. We were talking before we came on the air about the Pine Barrens, the episode from The Sopranos, and it was quite the interesting conversation, actually.
Yeah, it was. Sopranos, man, that's a hell of a show.
Yeah, it was.
What's that line? I can't remember the line. He says, I can't remember what he calls it because there's no bad phone reception. It's so funny, though. It's going to drive me nuts. It'll come to me.
Well, like I told you earlier, I have the VHS tape if you'd like to borrow, and I have an extra
watched that
VCR.
show so many times, and I listen. I have the theme song is on my gym playlist, so it pops on every once in a while. But it's awesome, killer.
So now I got to ask you, Dom, if you were one of the Sopranos, who would you be?
Oh, Sil all day. Dude, he's got that. My favorite line of all time. He does the Pacino impression. Just when I think I'm out, they pull me back in.
Yeah.
And there's the one scene, it's like one of the first episodes where Christopher and his buddy boost the truck full of the suits. Yeah. And he's like, when I was like, Tone, this one don't go back. That can be a problem. And it's like, dude, it's so good. So good. It's the best. I don't want to be Tony. There's too much responsibility.
I know, right?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Well, let's get back to hockey then.
As we go off the rails so early.
Already. Yeah, Ron, by the way, this show does tend to go off the rails in a hurry, so
All good.
I hope you're wearing your seatbelt because the ride could get a little bumpy.
He knows how it goes. He's a golfer. It goes off the rails real quick.
Yes, there you go.
Sure does.
So you started your college career playing at Union College, and then you transferred to Utica for the 2016-17 season. So how did that come to be?
So, pretty interesting. I was midway through my sophomore year, kind of started not playing as much. I was hurt a little bit, played a little bit, was then starting to get more healthy scratch. I'm like, okay. End of the season, we lose to Cornell. We get swept first round. It was like a Saturday night, whatever. We're having our end of the year meetings and end of the year team meeting on Monday. And I'm just sitting in my room. I get a text from my coach. I'm like, interesting. He says, come to the office. I'm like, okay, no problem. Pulls me in. You're off the team. I was like, oh, okay. Cut and dry. I was like, all right,
Whoa.
no problem. Yeah. I haven't told too many people, not too many people know this except my buddies, obviously, but he was like, yeah, you're off the team. Your scholarship or your whatever I was getting, because Union at the time didn't do full scholarships. It was like, everything still stays, but you're not going to be playing. I'm like, all right, no problem. No hard feelings. It is what it is. That's just the way it goes. It's Division I hockey, and that's how it was. Got my shit, put it in a trash bag, and walked out, called my dad. I was pretty upset, obviously, at the time, but it's what it is. Made a couple of phone calls.
I could just imagine.
Yeah, he's like, I wasn't this calm, by the way.
I mean, knowing your dad, I can hear your father right now.
A few holes in the wall later.
It's tough, man. Like, I went from the year before I was starting the first line in playoffs to not being on team. So listen, it is what it is. That's the business, I guess. So I made a couple phone calls. I actually called Brett Zahner because he's been one of my best friends, probably my best friend since we played juniors together in Texas since I was 20. So called him. We talked to Gary, and I came up. I think I came up like one weekday I had off from school or whatever. Skated with the fellas, and I was like, yeah, I think this is where I want to go. And now Brett definitely had a big influence on me going there, but it was my wife at the time. We were going out, and it made sense being only an hour away from her at Union and talk to my parents. It's just like it was a no-brainer. The hockey, the odd. They showed me some videos of the atmosphere, and I was like, shit, what else do I got to lose? I mean, I obviously weighed my options of could I still play Division I, but I had to sit out a year. I was a January birth year, so I aged out. So like I couldn't sit a year. I would have screwed myself. I would have had a year left of eligibility at 24. There was just no point. So I rolled the dice, and it friggin' worked out, man. I made more memories at Utica in 2 years than God. It was the best decision I've ever made.
Right.
Best decision I ever made. So
their loss UC fans gain, Josh says, which is great.
that was I didn't even know that story.
Well, I didn't tell too many people know that, but now it is what it is.
If you don't mind me asking, we don't have to get into it, but just curious. So what was there like a problem? It just wasn't a good fit? Were you not playing up to like your capability?
Oh, yeah, it was all of the above probably. I wasn't like you guys see me Utica I got the school record of goals, but like it wasn't something wasn't right there, and maybe it was the coach that didn't like me. I was maybe not playing with the right guys. I myself wasn't. Like, I scored against Michigan. Like, that's probably my highlight in my Division I career.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But
it's still cool.
But like,
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
But in the long run, it didn't. I didn't. Listen, not for nothing, but I got a chance. Like my freshman year, I played a lot. Played at Maine, was on the power play. Played at BU on national TV. Like I played a lot. I can't deny that. I played over 50 games, but for some reason, it just didn't work. And looking back now, probably better that it didn't work because I would have never ended up in the situation that presented itself to me at Utica. But there was certainly listen, I'm not the best student. Everybody will tell you that. But I Utica was good. It was actually better for me school wise. Union, I struggled I was always in study hall. I don't know. It just wasn't the fit for me, and that's okay. I mean, shit. I mean, things happen for a reason. So
Right.
I got no hard feelings. I mean, my wife loves the school. She graduated there, played hockey 4 years, captain 2 years. So I mean,
That's cool.
It'll always stick with me. It'll always be here. So
That's awesome.
Very cool. That is. That's awesome.
Utica definitely gained a hell of a player.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Because he transferred there and led the team in scoring both years he was there. So
yeah.
yeah.
And it was
It just seemed to fit, man. It like I still talk to 90% of the guys from that team, like, and I talk to Gary all the time. I finally got to come back for the golf tournament this year.
Yeah.
I mean, if Gary called me tomorrow and was like, "Hey, we want you to coach," like I would probably drop everything and go. So
I had a spare room you could hang out till you figure something out.
yeah, man.
Dude, it's crazy too, because we talk about this a lot at the beginning of the season. We're like, Gary just pulls out these recruits, but then if you look at some of the guys who've transferred in, jeez,
I know.
Berms,
Yeah.
Roman, dude, it's crazy. It's wild, man. We're so lucky as fans. It's not even funny.
Yeah, and I mean the town's great to the kid, to all of us
for sure.
Athletes, so it's great. I loved it. I still think about it probably almost every day. Really, I really do.
that's awesome.
So, yeah.
So compare the atmospheres for like a home Union College game as opposed to a Utica game. Is the Odd a bigger arena? Because I really don't know.
The Odd is definitely bigger. It's definitely bigger. I would say. See, both schools, the student section was not like super factor. Where like some schools you go to, it's insane.
It's on your face. Yeah, it's in your face.
But
This year it is.
the crowds. So I will say both atmospheres at Union and Utica were very good. Now some nights, obviously, we had 3 semesters at Union trimesters. So like some games we wouldn't have any fans, or we would have fans, but it would just be some local people. But at Utica, man, there was never really a night off. I mean, we played every once in a while Sundays against a Chatham or something. Nobody. You guys get it. But it's. I mean, you got like the fans. They're always on at Utica, man. There's not beating too many atmospheres like that. So.
100%.
I got a group of 6 of us D-gens are going to be on the away team's penalty box for the championship game. It's going to be a bad night to be them.
I bet.
Oh. I got the herd in my section. So,
dude,
get the cameras rolling.
Oh, Roman, if you could get up here this weekend, man.
I wish, but
and I mean, if you could see what the herd. I mean, I'm sure you've seen like the Instagram photos of the herd this year.
Yeah,
it's insane. Like the finally a solidified student section. Is sitting right behind the bench.
I'm just trying to think back, like when we won that year. I mean, it was the student section wasn't as good. I mean,
right.
But that was the first year. Then next year it was better. Next year and next year. So it makes sense that the student section finally is worth some time going.
There's the consistent regulars who've like myself have been out of college for so long. We're screaming at children. Like Jared, do you know the you're a black hole, you just suck guy? Because that guy's been consistent with that for years, and he's just he's great. If you're in this group, dude, shout out to you, man. You're awesome.
I don't know who started it. I know it's one of the. I know Salustio's over there.
I love it.
I don't know. I mean, the chant is so long. And if you really don't know what the words are, there's people sitting on my side going, what are they saying? So then I have to say what they're saying. And then they start trying to do it, but it never catches on. Like I wish the whole Odd got it, but it's so long.
Yeah.
But that's the problem. But either way, it's still so loud.
I should start putting it on Twitter. That way people know it. I'll do it. I'll chant in my house by myself. I don't care.
You should just make a video of it. And we'll put it up on the video board.
Well, dude, correct me if I'm wrong. I think Aaron listens to the show. I know he's in the Utica Pioneers group that we started, though. So if you hear this, didn't the Pioneer Posse, didn't we used to put cheers on the website and Facebook and stuff? Like, did they not used to do that, or did I just make that up? So, like, everybody knew what was going on.
I don't know.
I might have made that up.
That's
maybe
a good question.
Maybe that's just a dream of mine that we should do that.
We should do that.
Coordinated mayhem.
We should
do it. We took because I had a group of 5 of us. We were at the game, and the herd's going. I mean, they're chanting "Coach's ball." Like they're gutless. They're gutless, bro. There's no like nothing. So we're like getting into it or whatever. We're talking to these kids behind us. And they're like, "Are you students?" And I go, "Dude, I'm 30." Like, he goes, "Oh, I go, yeah," and I'm the youngest one out of all of us. So like,
they're heard now. They have to go. The coaches, they get sisters' names, they get the wives' names.
Oh, Roman, dude,
it's brutal.
Have you watched any of the games this year?
Oh yeah, I've been watching recently.
Dude, oh my god, they were chanting like, was it the goalie's girlfriend's name or something? I mean, It was vicious, bro.
The goalie we just played had a terrible hairline.
Look like Einstein. Look like Einstein.
So, and I don't know how they knew it before, but the goalie's helmet actually popped off during the game.
Dude,
well, the whole crowd went berserk.
Nice.
I'm telling you, that made a difference too, because he was playing his first period. He was dynamite.
Oh yeah, he was lights out.
And then, dude, they're like,
helmet went off, and all of a sudden, he like goes, "Oh!" And you saw him scramble to put his helmet back on. Like normally, because obviously the whistle's going to blow, right? Because the goalie's helmet's off. So the goalie will like nonchalantly go over, pick it up, fix his hair,
but he knew.
And he like sprinted over that helmet and just like did something quick and threw his helmet on, and it was too late.
Well,
he was already in. Oh no,
Roman's gone. But anyway, we'll hold till it gets back. But everybody. Because they had been chanting the whole time the game was going that the coach was bald or like the other coach was bald or whatever. And then when that happened, everybody, even like the 60-year-old woman next to me, everybody in the audience just went,
yeah, like, everybody.
It was wild, man. It was wild. I love that team.
Rome,
I love that team so much.
Like when the regular season starts, the crowd's kind of like, all right, what kind of team do we have? What kind of team are we watching? And as the year goes on, as we get better, the crowd gets a little bit more intense. And, now being in a championship year like you played in, it's going to be rocking.
Oh, hell yeah.
Saturday, it's going to be.
Yeah, dude.
I took time off of work Saturday. That way I'd be.
It's going to be louder
to prepare.
Which is,
yeah.
Rowan, do you see any similarities between this year's team and the championship team you played on?
That's a great question.
Oh, absolutely. Man, they were friggin' relentless.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the one thing like that we got good at as the year went on. Like, man, you can't let teams breathe. You know what I mean?
Right.
Especially like Saturday, like they got to come out and they got to like if they score 2 goals within the first 10 minutes. It's
over.
It's got a good chance that it's over, and that's what we did to Elmira. It was 4-0 before the 5-minute mark.
Blink of an eye.
Before halfway through the first period, and they were done.
Yep.
Now they were a young group, like they were good. That Elmira team was really good. People don't know, and they were all like sophomores, which was crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I mean, the inexperience showed. Like we had built up all year because they beat our ass twice throughout the year, but as the year went on, we had better wins, and then we were so old and we were so like mature, and our captains like Bashinsky and Zayner, like I know I wasn't a captain, but we weren't letting anybody lose. Valenti, we weren't letting us lose by any chance. So yeah,
that's amazing.
I mean, I know the goal. I know Dixon's not getting a lot of shots, but. I mean, you can tell he's good.
Dude, he's having a heck of a year, man.
Yeah,
Bro. The kid's a stud. Shout out to Sean Dixon, man.
Absolutely.
I mean,
I actually kind of felt bad for him against Lebanon Valley. I mean, that first period, I think he saw 2 shots. He was bored down the other end.
My wife looks at me and goes, "What? Are they even in the like? Where's Lebanon Valley even doing?"
Oh, Rob, you watched that game?
Oh yeah,
So I said this on the show because I told them I work outside and it was raining that day, so like I couldn't keep up on and I was out until like 8:30. The game was like I think it was in the third by the time I got home, and I hadn't checked the score. I hadn't even looked at the group chat from them. Yeah. The first thing I did was click on Twitter, being 29 years old, and the very first thing I see, Ray Biggs. That first period was like calling a car wreck.
Oh, yes.
I was like, wait, what happened?
You're like, wait, which way is he saying this?
The first thing, what's bad? The first thing I thought, I was about to text Jackson and be like, what did you do? What did you do?
Oh, I like you said, Rome, the team now is like, it's just clicking. It's flying on all cylinders. Yeah. And it's just like how you guys clicked. Mm-hmm. And it does. It reminds me of your team. Just like right now, man. I mean, the team just before the COVID year, same thing. Yeah. But the COVID hit them, which was unfortunate.
Oh, well, guys, I think we can all agree too. I mean, they're playing their best hockey of the season right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They saved the best time to just absolutely turn it on.
They swarm on pucks. They grind you out, and you can see it. The other team does get tired, and we just get stronger and stronger and stronger. And that's a lot of pride on Gary too.
Oh, absolutely.
I have a hard time figuring out who the hell the fourth line is because they all are.
I don't. That's the thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know because Gary will switch up a line. All of a sudden, he's like, "Oh, Buster's on the first line," and all of a sudden, Buster's on the fourth line. It's like, wait, what?
And they
what did he just do?
Let's try this.
How many guys are in the 30 point per throughout the year? A lot, and they got a couple 40s. It's good.
Yeah, it's incredible. I mean, they just cleaned up at the UCHC awards too.
Yeah.
It usually helps when you pump teams by 11, consistently. Put up football scores. So, Roman, I got a question for you, though. So, since we're kind of talking about that, down the stretch, obviously we talk to Gary and we watch him all the time, but is there any type of mentality shift at all in the locker room, or is it gas pedal from day one?
I mean, you go through lulls throughout the season, and at a point, you kind of realize, this is yours for this. It's yours for the taking. That as long as you play your game, you're not going to lose.
Right.
And you can just taste the success, and that just goes such a long way. And you have good leadership. I know the guys they got Everson and Ucell. Those guys have been there since my senior year, and those guys don't really know nothing else but success, minus the 1 year that they got upset. Right. But so that really goes a long way. Experience is the best, man, when you have that. Because the year before we won, we lost to Hobart. That was horrible like that. And then that next year we knew we were not going to lose. So no matter what. And the young kids see that. That rubs off on the juniors, sophomores, and freshmen. It really does.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
And then the fans go crazy, and you guys help.
Yeah.
As well.
See, thank you. We just talked about this. We've been getting in fights with people online because they get mad at people for cheering at the Comets games, which I don't understand. Doesn't make any sense to me.
Fans have such an impact. I think, at least.
Oh, absolutely.
It's funny. The fans now, you always have the team go off the ice, and they go to the corner where they go off.
Yeah.
And they're pumping up the crowd. Well, now, they go to the circle, salute the fans. Now they'll all turn around, and obviously the herd's right there. Yeah. So, I mean, yes, they are thanking the herd. They are thanking all the fans. Mm-hmm. But, they do know that, once we are in the team's head, it's over.
Yeah.
And, I mean, there's the teams that will sit on that visitor bench. They'll squirt the glass. They'll try to squirt us. And the moment that any athlete knows this, the moment you have an athlete react to a fan, the athlete lost. It's over. It's over with. You're done. We own you. It puts gas in the fire. It just fuels it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Right. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Right. Especially when they're trying to keep up with a team like you, Rome. Gary's got you guys ready to skate everybody out of the building every year. That's just
it sure does.
So now they got to try to think quick too. Good luck. I mean, have fun. It's just,
Well, oh no. They know my sister's name. Oh no, they know my mom's name.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh no. Oh, I just fell by not getting tripped. Everything that this kid does is gonna just go right back into a chant, and it's incredible.
And the rink itself is kind of intimidating too. It's it's got such a impactful feeling.
Yeah.
So.
Right. Just like you said, most of the other schools that come in, they don't play in an odd they don't play in a facility like that.
Now everything's in our favor. However, I mean, that does pump up teams as well. So you got these guys Saturdays, they gotta come ready to play, or it's everything can happen. It's a championship. I know you guys know. I mean, with sports, anything can happen.
Anything can happen. And Wilkes has played him tough both times this year.
Funny thing about the coach for Wilkes, he's my roommate at Union. He was my roommate, my freshman and sophomore roommate.
Really?
Tyler Hines.
I hope if the herd's listening to that, we got something for him now.
He's a beaut, man. That guy.
I was going to say, I don't want to ask you if he's actually a good dude because
he's a really nice guy, man.
That's unfortunate then.
Well, I mean,
but I'll tell you though. I mean that senior season that you had led to some success later on too, because right after that season was over, you went to the ECHL, right?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
So how did that come about? You just get done with the locker room, then all of a sudden they're calling saying, "Oh yeah, by the way, we need you in Tulsa."
Man, that was a lot. That was crazy because I was so upset that what happened with the NCAA and us not making it, but that's a whole other
Oh
story.
my God.
That's a whole other story.
That was
But
yeah.
So many people in the city of Utica just went,
Oh, that's right. Yes.
well, when the NCAA realized that they messed up, so that's that. I'm still not over that, but that's a whole other story.
Yeah.
So I'm in Gary's office. It was when they had that fake shooter at UC or whatever.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I was stuck in Gary's office for like 6 hours. And we were
What a place to be.
Man. It was me, him, and Louie. We were just stuck there, like, okay, what do we do? So at that point, Gary was first of all trying to see what the hell happened, because why we didn't make it, and then trying to get me somewhere to play. It was, I think, maybe talking about maybe the Comets or go to ECHL, and it ended up Tulsa needed a guy that I knew, and Connor Schmidt was on our team the year before. So he was out there, talking to him a little bit, and I went, and I mean, shit, it was great. I had a lot of success. I had 12 points, 11 games, something like that. It was interesting going. I mean, I played juniors in Texas, so I was familiar with the Southern Midwest, but it was I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. Went back the year 2, the following year. Made it to the Western Finals. We lost in game 7, I think, to Toledo. So it was hockey out there is crazy, especially in that division too. It's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough. A lot of players.
That first full season you had with the Oilers was a pretty good season.
It wasn't bad, yeah. It was good. I felt I deserved to play a little bit more, but it is what it is. Guys get sent down, and you're on an ECHL contract, take a seat, because the guy who's getting paid big money is playing.
Right.
So
Right.
But that's just it is.
I think if I still scroll through my phone, I probably still have your first goal that your father sent me.
Probably. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome, man.
Now, did they have the blue goalposts then too?
Yeah. They still got those. Damn blue goals.
I think that's. You know what? I actually like that. I think it's pretty neat. You know, it's sets them apart.
It's different. Yeah, it's different.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, then you afterwards you played for Greenville and Norfolk.
Yeah, I went to Greenville. I talked to my coach at the end of the year, my first full season. I was like, listen, I think I want to go closer to home. I was gonna get engaged to my wife at the time, so traded to Greenville. It was great. Coach was awesome. What a beautiful place. South Carolina is really nice, especially that town. Had really good success there, but we had way too many guys get sent down. I went from being over point a game to not playing. Coach called me and was like, listen, coach was like, listen, I can't do anything about it. Like we were affiliated with Florida and Carolina. He's like, they handcuffed me. I can't do anything. So he traded me to Norfolk, which Reagan Kavanaugh's dad's the owner. Mm-hmm. Did well there. Got to play an ECHL All-Star game, which was great, which was a lot of fun. That was really fun.
Did they do a skills competition?
They did. I didn't. It was. I mean, it's nothing like the NHL kind of. It was. They only did a couple. Like it was like hardest shot, fastest skater, which I'm neither.
Right.
So yeah, that was it. We actually won. And it sucks. The NHL, the winning team gets to share $1 million. We got to share a trophy that we had to leave behind. What the hell?
Dude, the Coast boys always get hosed. It's ridiculous.
Guys out. Help us poor hockey players out.
Yeah, what do you mean? Like, it's crazy.
So, no,
barely getting by over here. It's crazy.
Yeah, here's the Kelly cover. Ready, take a picture.
Yeah. Literally.
Now, is that Rome? Not to bring up a sore subject, but was it on that team? Was that where you blocked the shot with your face?
Yeah, Norfolk.
Dude, what is it? Not to interrupt you, but like, what is with UC alum that went to the ECHL and got their faces absolutely blown out?
So this was before the All-Star
you
game.
Berms, it's
man, December.
Have you seen I had the picture.
Yeah.
Which one?
The one where he blocked the shot with his face.
I've seen it. I've seen it.
Oh,
yeah,
it was December. It was like December 13th or 19th. Man, puck goes D to D. I went down one knee and just got freaking smoked with directly to the face. So that set me back a little while. I had some So I came back to play, and then I was having some eye issues. So I couldn't really see much out of my right eye. I had my peripherals, and like my game, like my best part of my game is my like peripherals and seeing guys off your back and making passes. So like I'm like, something's not right. So I talked to the trainer. We're playing in Atlanta, and I'm like, Jason, like we gotta go get this check. He's like, all right, we'll go next week. We'll play the game, play tonight. Because nothing was really wrong. It was just my eyesight was a little messed up. The next freaking game, man, we're playing, we're killing our own zone. I step in and I get smoked accidentally by my guy hits their guy, and their shoulder hits me right in the same spot. And that was it. That's the last piece of hockey I've played since.
Oh,
man. It was so it opened my scar back up. One of the scars, because I got hit here too. So went to the doctor. I had some really bad. My wife's sitting behind me. I'm doing these eye tests, and I couldn't see anything. She's like, "Oh my goodness, you missed a lot." So,
You're not helping.
I was in pretty rough shape for like 6 months. I couldn't drive. I was in rough shape. But listen, that's the way it is.
Yeah, and it's hockey.
It's baseball, Susan.
Yeah.
So,
well, actually, it led you into a new venture, correct?
Yeah. So basically, I obviously stopped playing. I was going to give it a year with COVID. I wasn't going to try to play, but I really wasn't getting much better. I'm good now, but I'm not fully good. I don't think I'll ever be back to how I felt prior to probably getting hit with the puck, because getting hit with the puck probably really did me in. I just kind of brushed it off and tried to go back to play.
Do you get gun? Do you get gun shy after something like that? Because I mean that was a brutal.
Yeah,
photo.
I mean, I played with a shield. I played with a bubble on for 4 games until the doctor was like, okay, all your scars heal. My face broke. My nose was broke. My orbital bone was broke. I honestly didn't lose any teeth, which is kind of shocking. But it messed up pretty good. I got like 30 some stitches.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah.
The picture just
So,
I'll never forget when your dad sent me that. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, so we were living. Yeah, so right after COVID, we went up to Vermont. We were with my in-laws for a while, just kind of living there, living at my parents. And then I was like, to my wife, I'm like, Allie, I think we should just I think that's probably it. So she was obviously 100% behind me. She gets it. I mean, she played hockey her whole life too. So
sure.
We bought a house, South Jersey, and haven't looked back since. We're having a baby, and got less than a month and a half. So
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Sorry.
says the young kid.
Yeah. He'll learn someday. He'll learn.
Just turned 29 in January, so
that's awesome, man. Congratulations.
Tale of two lives right here.
So tell us a little bit about Stogie Golf.
Stogie Golf. So golf has been my passion probably since I was 15. And Jeremy, you asked my dad how many times I wanted to quit hockey to play golf when I was 15, 16, 17.
I could just imagine that conversation.
Shoot me. So that's besides the point. But I don't know, man. I've always loved golf. I love Tiger Woods. I love Justin Thomas, Jordan Spieth, those guys. So I just started this business. It was really a hobby. I was just writing about golf shit and all the golf tournaments, and I like smoking cigars on the course. So just decided we came up with Stogie Golf and kind of ran with it. I mean, I made a couple hats. A couple of my buddies wore them. One of my best buddies is Johnny Hockey, so he wore it on TSN, and
cool.
It went fucking. Sorry, I didn't mean to curse. It went. It went. I mean, it got a lot of attention on TSN. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, it was. It's kind of funny how it works, how it worked out, and I mean, it's started from the ground, so it's nothing like crazy right now, but it's a good thing that I'm doing. I really enjoy it. I love golf. I love just the whole vibe that it brings to me, because I've had a tough couple of years mentally.
Absolutely.
So it's good. I'm enjoying it. I got a lot of big things coming up this golf season. I actually have another business too, a video production business with a buddy of mine that played on Stevenson and another friend that played in Manhattanville. So we have that on the side. Yeah,
That's cool.
It's good. So he's my one buddy does all the video stuff. He's been helping me with Stogie Golf, and yeah, I'm gonna.
Awesome.
I don't really know where it's gonna take me, but I'm gonna.
I'll tell you what. I walked downstairs for a Utica Comet game,
Yeah.
and I was wearing your hat, and
Yeah.
one of the players walks over to me and goes, "Oh, so you know Ammirato?" I was
Yeah,
like,
Patty
"Oh, it's
McGrath.
Patty
man.
McGrath, yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, that man's awesome." I go, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, he played here. I'm like very good friends with him." I go,
Yeah.
"Oh," because I mean, obviously nobody really
Yeah.
knows Stogie
Yeah.
Golf up here, right? So
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah, we
at
can
first
change
I was
that.
like, I go, "What hat am I wearing?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, I know
Yeah.
Rome."
Yeah,
So-
him and I played together. We were 16 years old. We played for Jimmy Watson, next Flyer. Yeah, we played for him, and he's a nice guy. He was a
He
good
is
friend.
super nice guy,
So yeah,
super scrapper.
tough as nails, man.
Yeah.
Tough
Yeah.
as nails.
Mm-hmm.
But
Where can we find Stogie Golf on social media?
I got Instagram. I got actually got a website too. We got my brother-in-law helped me start up. Just stogiegolf.com. Yeah, we got
Stogie Golf on
Got
Instagram.
some polos. Got some polos we're making. Some quarter zips. Yeah,
Sweet.
it's a lot of fun. I could sit on my phone all day and do golf shit, but
It's awesome,
I
man.
got another job too that helps me fund Stogie Golf. So up until I can do the full time, but it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy it. It keeps me busy. My wife probably thinks I'm on my phone too much, but
Don't they
Really
all?
fun.
Don't
It's
they
business.
Tell her it's all business.
all?
That's
Don't
all.
they all?
it's all business.
Yeah, dude.
Right.
We'll have
And
to pump out that website and all the fan groups up
I
here.
appreciate it.
Yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
and I do some coaching too, which I coached high school for the past 2 years, where I went to high school down in Jersey, which is fun too.
Nice.
Very
Coaching
cool. It's
some
awesome.
15, 16-year-olds. So they're hilarious, these kids.
Did they remind you a little bit of a 16-year-old you?
A little bit. Yeah. And talking about yelling at college kids, I want to yell at the opposing kids that are 15 years old. I'm like, whoa, I can't do that anymore.
I'm not that guy. I can't do
Right.
that.
I gotta tell my kids to stop chirping, which I yelled at everybody as a player. So
Oh, man.
Is your dad in the stands when you coach or no?
he came to a couple games, but man, I tried to tell him to stay home. And he starts telling me how to coach, and it's like, whoa.
Let me tell you, it's funny when Rome played at UC, it was, obviously I got to know his father really well and his mom, and his dad never sat.
No.
Never sat. Never once. And I'm like, I go, man, and you just kind of see him do one of these.
Mhm.
Oh, Rome, what are you doing? Roman. I'm like, he scored a goal.
Like,
That's
when
awesome.
we be playing, like I had one game in Tulsa where it's like there was like a lot of people, like 8,000 to 10,000 people, and it could be packed, and I know exactly where that man sits every time. So
That's awesome.
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, man, that
Good
is
human right
great.
there. It's good human.
yeah.
Well, Roman, we really appreciate you coming on and sharing these stories with us, man. This
Hell
has been absolutely awesome.
Yeah, I'm glad I could hop on with you guys. Yo,
Absolutely.
you gotta ask Ray Biggs. He's got one of my Union jerseys. That crazy man bought one of them back a couple of years ago.
Really?
I got a tweet from him. He's like, "Look what I just bought." I'm like, "Oh, Biggsy, you're really buying one of my Union jerseys?"
He goes hard on the online shopping. He don't mess around.
No, I think he was at one of their games and bought it.
What?
It was. I think it was the year. I think it was the year after I left, or 2 years, and they were still selling my jersey. I'm like, what the hell?
Wait, I need my NIL contract.
Dude, crazy, man.
Yeah, right.
Crazy,
Demand royalties.
crazy.
Razor's the man.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Oh, that is great.
That's awesome.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
But yeah, man, if you're ever back up in the area, we definitely we got to meet up on a golf course or something like that.
I'm definitely going to be back next year for the golf tournament, 100%.
Sweet.
Nice.
All right.
That was a good time this year. That was
I
a good time this
I
year.
almost came up last weekend because a lot of the boys, a lot of the
guys were
my
up.
class were up, and I couldn't come, unfortunately, but because I had my Vermont bridal shower because that's my wife's from, or baby shower, excuse me, the week before, and I couldn't miss another weekend here, so I had to stay home, unfortunately. But
Yeah.
I'll be up again. Nope, I guaranteed.
Sweet.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
I love, man. I tell you, I would drop everything and move to Utica if I could. I really would. That's that honest truth.
Awesome.
That's
Very awesome.
Yeah. So.
Like I said, man, thanks for coming on. This has been great.
Yeah,
Loving it.
Let's hope the boys can get it done this week.
Let's go.
Absolutely.
They'll get it.
Move
They'll
on to
get
the
it.
NCAAs.
They'll
Absolutely.
get it.
Yeah. Yeah,
All
they gotta
right.
listen. They keep playing their game. They got a really good shot.
That's right.
Oh, absolutely.
Getting ready to take that weekend off.
The bad thing is,
Where's it at? Lake Placid, right?
it's in Placid. Yeah.
Placid.
Dude, if you think I'm going to pass up an opportunity to go to Lake Placid,
That's far, man. That's far for me, but
yeah, for you, that's all.
I got Garrett's got his final home tournament that weekend in the odd on that day, and I'm like, is the team really going to come? Is the team really coming? I'm trying to like pump the coach, trying to get him to see if, yeah, we got the team confirmed. I was like, what time are we playing? It's like 12-5, and I was like, 5 o'clock, 3-hour drive. I could cut it down to like 2:15.
Oh man. But yeah, like I said, we'll definitely get together on a golf course. Maybe we'll have a stogie and a beer and
that's what it's about, man. That's my audience.
chat some hockey.
Yeah.
The normal guy loves to have a cigar, have a couple beers, and get away from the real life for a couple hours. That's it, man.
That's right.
That's it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Gotta love it.
Well, Roman, I'm going to bring our next guest, and you're welcome to stick around for the rest of the show because you might even know this guy. I don't know if you do or not, but this is we're bringing in the Comets reporter and actually the overall sports reporter from the Rome Daily Sentinel. It's Mr. Ben Birnell. Ben, how you doing?
Hey guys, thanks for having me. Roman and I have had a few conversations, but not for a while. So we know each other.
Yeah.
Very cool. So how you doing, Ben?
Not too bad. How about you guys?
Yeah, we're doing pretty good. Actually, enjoying Utica hockey this season.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he's got a front row seat. I'm sure he's having a blast.
It's nice when you've got two teams that are doing really well. That's for sure, and everyone's very excited about it. And it's great to see teams have success.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, of course, we know the Pioneers have just been a success machine throughout the years. Even though the women's team had a great season this year too. That was a heartbreaker they lost on Saturday afternoon.
Dude, Georgie's a beast.
Yeah.
Dude, she's a beast, man. She's awesome.
Absolutely. But we're going to shift gears a little bit here and talk about the Comets, of course, the other tenant at the Adirondack Bank Center. I say the other tenant, right?
The other
We got the 15 tenants. We got soccer. We got lacrosse.
right.
We got the Harlem Globetrotters right now. It's a busy building, bro.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
Hey, it's better than not having anything in there.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
It's true.
But Ben, the Comets they're 5-5 in their last 10 games, which is not bad hockey at all. It's just I think everybody's gotten so accustomed to winning just about every game. Let me ask you. I mean, you've had a front row seat for this entire season. I personally think it's just a lull in the schedule, a little bit of a rut. They'll get out of it. Is there any reason to be concerned?
I don't think so. I think it's just like you said. It's an ebb and a flow of the season, and maybe they're a little out of sorts right now. But I think you're going to have that every once in a while. I mean, I don't think there's anything to be concerned about. They're still
Right.
Playing hard. I mean, it's not like they've given up or anything. They're getting the opposition's best right now because they're the best team in the Eastern Conference. And
right.
I mean, like I think I was watching, Jason when he was on the show, a few days ago. He said, for like Cleveland, that's their like Stanley Cup, right? So sure. I mean, who knows what's going to happen? I mean, I was just looking at the standings too, and I think it's like 11 points separate second through sixth place, and like the top 5 teams in the North get in. Like that's going to go down until the end of the season. Like that's not going to get figured out right now. And I mean, second and first is 10 points, and that's been fluctuating for the last couple of weeks. So, I mean, when you've got North Division games on tap too, it's going to make things interesting. And, you looked at that game against Hershey too on Friday. That was not the best Comets performance.
No.
I mean, it might be ranking lower down the list in terms of performances, but there's something to be said about a good goaltender too. And, I think Fakale was pretty good that night.
Yeah.
Especially that third period. He made those 3 huge saves. It just took the air out of everything.
And I mean, you get those goals from Hershey, and I think goals 2 and 3 were goals I think maybe Schmid would like to have back.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
It almost made him look like he was playing at NHL speed and not the AHL speed when those goals went by him. And which, like you said, he wants him back, which obviously any goalie would. Yeah. But it just looked like he wasn't. We've seen his A game.
Yeah.
And that wasn't his A game. And I think he can admit that as well if he was here.
Right.
I don't think a lot of people had an A game.
No.
I think a lot of them will tell you that. I mean, I think there were a handful of guys that were decent that night, but I would say for the most part they weren't on.
Right.
Sure. And I don't know what the reason for that is. It's just one of those nights.
They had a layoff before that Hershey game too, didn't they? Like a
4-game
that's
break. The thing. They had
like
the 3-day off, and they come back, and that could be part of it. But you'd like to see maybe a little bit better start than they had that night too, especially coming off those couple of games. So and then obviously the next night against Syracuse wasn't the best either.
No. Just put in Patty.
This is the first time we've had to talk like this all season.
I know. This is the first time. We forgot what it's like.
I mean, it'll happen. I mean,
exactly.
I think the word I use with a couple other people is I don't know if course correction's the best word, but I mean, you start 13-0 and you're rolling through the first couple months of the season. At some point, it's gonna slow down.
Right.
You can't
absolutely.
You can't keep that continued pace over 72 games, 76 games. I mean, that's hard to do.
And that's what the fan base got spoiled on it too. I mean, you got fans that are booing them out of the building. It's like, wait, what? Are you guys really booing this team?
Oh my God. We played one bad game at home. People are booing.
You can have a bad game. It's
I'll tell you, I mean, 72 game season's not easy.
Yeah.
No, not easy at all.
It's a grind. It's gotta be.
It's one thing to have a 30 game season in college. That's freaking cupcake compared to 72.
Right. So, Ben.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, Ben. So you get to interact with these guys quite a bit. Obviously, it's winning cures everything, and things are good. But kind of what it looks like, even when they're playing rough, they don't seem to ever really be down mentally. They seem to be pretty into it.
No, and that's the thing. You kind of talk to them. Like I remember talking to AJ Greer maybe a week or two ago. And it was something along the lines of this team doesn't get down. It's you just kind of roll with it and roll through it. And, talking to Ryan Schmelzer too, I asked how are things going in terms of, the leadership group and, kind of taking these young guys, because it's a good mix of guys that have experience. And, at this point in the season, are guys really still rookies? I don't.
Yeah, right.
Right.
You've already played how many games? Whatever. At this point, they're technically rookies, but they've still got that experience. So, I think it's a learning experience for a lot of the young guys too in a league like this. I mean, you look at a Alexander Holtz or Fabian Zetterlund's now in his 3rd pro season, but. Right. In talking to Ryan Schmelzer, he's like, everyone seems to get along and enjoy each other's company, and it makes it easy. It seems like for them, in terms of that kind of that leadership and kind of helping bring them along. And it's not just the guys that are wearing letters either. I mean, you've got veterans like Frederick Gauthier and obviously
Robbie
Flynn
Russo.
and Jam. Watherspoon. I think he's
been around a while.
He's been around a while.
Getting him back is going to be awesome.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, great to talk to him about his Olympics.
Sure.
That was a great article.
Thank you.
I actually just looking at it. Yeah, let's plug it. No, yeah, for sure.
Hey, why not? It was absolutely.
Yeah, he's like, I got to talk to a guy who played Olympic hockey.
when am I going to get to do that again? Who knows?
Right. Dude, yeah.
Right. So that was the one. Even when he got named to that team, I was like, oh, can I talk to him? and he had already left. And so
Right.
I'm like, well, talk to him when I get back, but I definitely like to talk to him. And, it's too bad that the experience wasn't like a full on open kind of maybe experience like it had been in the past. I mean, because the way that Tyler kind of referred to it was a, kind of a more bubble atmosphere, and they didn't, get out and everything. Because the one thing that I was kind of interested in, like, oh, were there other athletes that you got to meet? And he was like, not really, because, everyone's kind of in their own bubble, and you don't want to bother, all these other people. I mean, this is the top of the top in each of their sports. And like, how much do you want to be like, hey, what's up? I'm from the Olympic hockey team. Do you want to chat?
Right.
Hey, figure skater, like let's chat about we're here. And so
that's awesome.
I know Tyler mentioned getting to go to see the speed skating, which he liked. So that's it's cool to hear those kind of stories and everything. So
Yeah.
No, that's really cool.
Well, it's Scott. It's cool to see a guy like that. Really, like, I mean, this is a guy who's played in the show, right? He's maintained such a good attitude here, which is tremendous. I mean, that says a lot to young guys. Like, it sets a great tone in the locker room.
Absolutely, because I mean, you can have players that were in the NHL and then they're not happy about being sent down, and that can actually permeate through the rest of the room, which creates problems.
You trying to point out any ex-comments by any chance?
No, I'm just saying.
Arsenal? Wasn't Arsenal one of those guys that
Goldie wasn't happy. Bearchi wasn't happy.
Yeah. Well, listen, that was a long time ago.
They got to go back to riding a bus. That's why.
Yeah.
There you go,
you're right, dude. There's no more flying, bro. You're on the bus again.
Nope. Nobody wants that.
Somebody said, like, you go, you play in the ECHL and you're used to, like, you get the dinners, the team dinner, and it's like comes in like a styrofoam container. You go to the NHL, the team dinner is like a full spread in a whole like banquet hall.
It's a different. It's it's a weird adjustment. It's like you said, it's cool to see a guy like with. I mean, he's been around. Like he's
right.
He's been everywhere. So for him to like embrace the city and the team is great. Like that's fantastic.
It seems like everyone has a pretty good attitude. About being here and playing on this team, and I think it starts from the top and it kind of just filters its way down. I mean, you look at Kevin Dinneen and he's kind of embraced it too. I think the whole team has embraced it since they started, with this whole affiliation, and everyone's kind of just
ripping off 13 games help too.
Well, and that'll certainly help things a lot too. But you talk to him like, hey, well, how do you like playing for Kevin Dinneen? And everyone seems to say the same thing, and that, they enjoy it. And I mean, I think the Alexander Holtz quote got put out there a little bit and said that it was his, the best coach he's played for. And I had some people be like, well, that's a shot at, whoever. And I'm like, well, he's played for a lot of coaches. Like, it's a shot at anyone if you're going to look at it that way.
Right.
I mean,
it's so funny how people can be so negative sometimes. Yeah,
they always got to look at the negatives. Always.
But I mean, that hiring Kevin Dinneen was just a stroke of genius. And
definitely right place, right time. I guess I don't know. What the thought process was with Anaheim and San Diego. Another coach became available. They wanted him. I guess I understand it from that point of view, but then you've also got, Kevin Dinneen, who's got all this experience and, is now creeping his way already into the top 15 career wins in the AHL. Like, I think he's doing some right things, and, you've got guys that seem to enjoy playing for him. So,
sure.
Yeah. And, he's overdue to get a shot in the NHL too. And
don't say that.
I mean, I know. I don't encourage the don't. But what I'm hoping, ideal situations that Lindy Ruff stays in New Jersey for the rest of the season, of course.
Yeah.
And then what happens in the offseason.
I'm sure Philly might be looking for a coach right there. Rome.
Oh my God.
Should bring in torts.
It's hard.
Bring in torts.
I hope Danny Briere gets the job eventually. That'd be great.
Danny Briere is in my favorite sports picture of all time. Did him and Ryan Miller and the old butter knives and goat heads outside of the arena with the snowing? Oh, Wow, nostalgia.
Well, listen, Jeremy, Dom, I'll blow your minds. Really, I mean, if Kevin Dinneen does go up to New Jersey or goes to Philadelphia or whatever, how about if the Comets brought in Torts, since he did play a few games here in the early '80s?
No,
Why would you
Okay.
put that on Ben
No,
and everyone
just
else that has to cover the team?
no.
Have you seen how that man deals with the media? Are you kidding me?
I don't even know. Oh, that would be an interesting experience.
Yeah. I mean, the stories you'd have forever would be,
I'd honestly
Yeah,
would stick
right.
around downstairs after games just so I could watch these pressers.
dude. Can you imagine that Laval game when Dinneen was on the ice? If that was Torts, we're having a little different conversation here, gentlemen.
Well, and I'm still very confused on what happened.
Yeah.
I didn't completely see everything, because they're celebrating and then all of a sudden there's two teams and, that was the whole thing. And I don't. I'm
What I
not
couldn't
even
figure, how did
try
they
and
give Coach
speculate
Dinneen a misconduct when he was trying to break it up?
that's one of the parts where I get confused. Like something got said somewhere along the lines. I don't know. It was an interesting experience. That's for sure. So.
I just thought the best part was they're all brawling in center ice. And
Zetterlund's
just skating around, getting the crowd going. It was awesome.
That was great.
Yeah,
It so reminded me of the end of Slapshot. It really did.
Yeah.
How
Comes
fitting.
with the building.
I was going to say, the movie was shot there. I mean, might as well just keep it going.
Yeah, right. Slapshot 2022. Yeah.
Well, I did post a picture the other day, the day that Slapshot
Yeah.
was released,
I
Yeah.
saw that.
because
Yeah,
I
I
have
did see
I have the screenshot from the movie still on my phone, so I just keep it every year about this time when it's like, oh, Slapshot got released, then I go over that same spot and be like, well, here's what it looks like now, and so people seem to get a kick out of that. Hanson
Yeah.
brothers liked it, so that was
There you go.
That's always
Sweet.
fun.
That's awesome. Can't help it. Every time I hear the anthem at the yacht or the Adirondack Bank Center, to think about the Hanson brothers. How do you not, right?
Shut up!
I'm listening to this song. It's the best. It's the best. It's awesome. The one episode that Barry's not watching, we were talking about Slapshot.
I know, right?
I know.
He's going to be so mad at us.
Yeah, he's gonna listen to this back and pull his hair out.
Well, he's got about as much hair as I got, so we're good. Don't worry about it.
You said it, not me.
Yeah, I know. But anyways, it's pretty apparent that the Comets are going to make the playoffs. Ben, who do you think they'd match up well with in the first round?
Ooh, see, that's tough. It's like they've had a little bit of trouble against Toronto this year. Toronto's always tough, though.
Yeah.
I mean, and you never know what you've got the trade deadline coming up, and you don't know really what's going to happen there. You kind of hope that the team doesn't change drastically, or at least maybe they get a little help. It's the Torontos and the Rochesters that seem to have given them a little bit of trouble this year.
We've only seen Rochester 80 times, so
Don't.
So I think though a playoff series against Laval would be intense.
It'd be
to say the
intense.
least.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see how this all shakes out. On paper, you could be like, well, they should win that, but then
Right.
it's the AHL, and then you play the games, and I mean, going back to that Hershey game on Friday, I mean, how many people do you ask and say, okay, who's going to win this game? And everyone's going to probably say Utica. Like,
Right.
I don't think people went into that game thinking this is going to be a 4-0, loss for Utica. So, every night in the AHL, I feel like anyone can win, and especially if you're not on your game, it gets real interesting real quick. And so, I think any of the series that they could have against the teams in the North Division that are still in that kind of fight right now, are going to be interesting series. That's for sure.
For sure.
It is too, because I mean the Comets are not going to be really in danger of losing anybody for the NHL playoffs, and that's not to mean be a mean knock against New Jersey. That's just reality. And Rochester's probably going to get some players back too, because Buffalo's not going to make the playoffs. So that whole dynamic Laval's going to get players back from Montreal. Probably they're going to want to see him get some AHL playing time if they make the playoffs. Yeah. So that kind of changes things a little bit too. Is there an area that you think the Comets could maybe use a little bit more help in, say like an AHL level trade, or not saying trading, not looking to who you think should get traded away. Just is there an area that maybe they could use some help?
I would like to see kind of a more veteran goalie, maybe more so for the Devils, just to have your
stability here.
Your rookies kind of come back down and play. I think I pointed it out on Twitter. Like, you really want your young guys, like your AHL, your goalies, to spend a lot of time in the AHL. Like, I mean, you look at it. Thatcher Demko played one NHL game in his first 2 years.
Yeah,
like you want those guys to kind of just spend the time in the AHL, have success, and then go up and kill it from there. I mean, I knew once Thatcher Demko left here that probably wouldn't see him again.
Right.
I mean,
yeah.
Boy, look at him now, man.
I'm not surprised at all by what he's doing. Like, just a smart kid who puts in the work and extremely athletic, and just I'm not surprised at all. So my point is, you'd like to see kind of the young guys back, and so I know that that's the one area that I look at the Devils and I say you need a veteran guy, so you're not like playing carousel with your two, Nico Dawes and Akira Schmid.
Yeah.
It's like, do I there's so much depth on the Comets roster right now. Like, when you're having a good night, you look at those four lines and you're like, well, which one's the top line? And then the depth on defense with Waterspoon back. Like, if you're not on top of your game, like, you're coming out of the lineup.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
You want that competition. I think, Vancouver was trying for that for a number of years when they were here, and maybe it didn't work out quite as well as they would have liked.
Jeez.
But they had so many
duck.
injuries, like most of those seasons, that like it became impossible sometimes. So you hope that teams can stay healthy around this season, this time of season, and kind of get rolling as these last 2 months of the regular season get going.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and you think about it. Now, maybe some don't realize it, but I mean, this is Dawes and Schmid's first professional season. So what you say about them being in the AHL is absolutely spot on. Right. And who would have thought Scott Wedgwood being claimed by Arizona was going to throw such a monkey wrench into all the plans, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, and I hear some people kind of rip on Merrick's mittens, but here's the thing. Being a backup goaltender in a professional hockey team has got to be one of the hardest jobs there is, because goaltenders are very, they need to play to get into a rhythm, and you got to feel for the guy because he's, he sits 8 straight games, and then all of a sudden he's thrown into the wolves. It's like, geez, I mean, what do you expect, right?
Well, Rome, did you have that when you played in the ECHL? Did you have your goalies go up and down?
Oh yeah, crazy. My team in Norfolk, we had 7 goalies, I think.
Oh.
Crazy, man. Crazy.
This is so off topic, but I have to tell Jeremy this. So Jonesy just texted me because the Blues are playing the Rangers right now.
I know it's 1-0.
He just goes, "This effing goalie." I go, Shesterkin, man.
Yep. But yeah, I mean, like, going back to the goalies, I mean, well, you see Dawes go to the NHL, and then Mittens is coming back to Utica, and then Dawes comes back, and then Schmid goes out. And then they both come back to Utica, and Mittens is gone. And it's like a shuffle every week.
It's crazy,
every week.
It's crazy. Like, have Bennington almost got sent down to the ECHL the year that they won. It's that crazy being a goaltender in professional hockey. It's nuts. It's nuts. If he didn't, because Bennington was like refusing to get sent down to the ECHL. So the year before that, they traded him to Providence, and then he went back to San Antonio, and then eventually was on the Blues, and then they won. It's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. Ben, is there anybody in New Jersey could potentially pick up to stabilize that goaltending situation?
There's so many different options, and it's like, if you're New Jersey, like, who do you give up? Like, you've already picked up Gillis, right? And that's a future considerations thing. Like,
right.
to me, if you're New Jersey, do you really want to give up picks or prospects like right now? Like
Right.
with the kind of the situation you're in, like you're young and you want to eventually make a push, right? You want to get into the playoffs. Okay. At this point, do you really want to give up picks and prospects to get there?
Right.
That's where I'm at with it. Like, that's just my opinion, because it's like, you look at, again, going back to Vancouver, right? How often did we see them give up picks and prospects, and
Yeah. Where'd they end up?
where did they end up?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's where I'm at right now with, okay, I see, these names that pop up for New Jersey, and I'm like, okay, well, what's what are you giving up though?
Yeah.
Like, what's going with that? And that's where I land. I don't run a hockey team. I just,
Right.
I look at these things and I say, well, do you really want to do that? So I get wanting to make a team better. Obviously you got to make a move somehow, but and I know that some of these guys are upping their stock because of how well they're playing in the AHL right now. But how much do you also want to mess with the kind of the chemistry?
Right.
The chemistry you have.
Exactly.
Right. That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
The other part of it too is I think, at least from the AHL level, looking at the ECHL level, I know that Kevin Dinneen has said we're trying to be cognizant of, what they have and how we can kind of help them. And to me, it seems like from the top, it's kind of filtered down a little bit too, because there was a point where New Jersey was not using all of their taxi squad spots. They could have easily filled all 5 of them. I think at most, if I remember correctly, they were filling 3.
Right.
So I think there was kind of the thought that, hey, we're trying to help everyone out here. And even if it's not really like conducive to how it should be, so I think there's that mindset where we're trying to help, these teams have success, but at the same time, like, it's a fine line. So, I don't know what the next few weeks are going to bring.
I like the fact that how well Utica's playing
Right.
with Adirondack, bringing these guys down, putting them in the AHL level, giving them that bite, that taste. And then, all right, you're not going to be here for too long. And I think they understand that going into it.
Yeah.
Other than Mittens, because Mittens is going back and forth every game.
Yeah.
Well, too, if you think about it, it's actually smart on New Jersey's part to leave the Comets pretty much intact. Because, like I said, and again, I'm not picking on them, but they're not going to make the playoffs. So let this team gel for a season. Let them gel and hopefully get a deep run into the Calder Cup playoffs. And that's just going to galvanize. Because let's be honest. I would say it's not out of the realm of possibility that half of these guys are going to get a real good look at making the Devils next year.
Yeah, I that's the other part of it too. Like, some of these guys are going to get looks towards the end of the season.
Right.
You'd have to think, Riley Walsh will get an opportunity. Maybe Kevin Ball. Maybe
who's out?
Ball's out.
Had to.
Maybe Holtz, Zetterlund. I know at the beginning of the season
Zetterlund's going to get a look.
They wanted to see Chase DeLeo too, and at this point in the season, it's kind of the young guys though. So I think there's going to be a little bit change in that too. So how much do you really want to mess with a roster? Like you asked, well, who do you make a trade for? Well, to me, it seems like these guys have been playing pretty well together, and like,
Right.
do you need someone to come in and help?
Oh, here's one to throw at you though. The Canadian Olympic team had a couple of pretty good goaltenders. Their starter, what was his name? It's escaping me off the top of my head, but he actually played pretty decent. And of course, they had Devin Dubnyk on that team.
Dubnyk.
Well, I mean, he's I think he's 36, I believe, at this point. But if you sign him as a unrestricted free agent, which he is, just to plug the hole in for the rest of the year, I don't see
anything's better than what Edmonton's doing.
Well, and then with the Devils too, with Bernier out and Blackwood, like, are you going to need someone for next year? Like,
right.
That's the other part. Like, so a lot of questions that I don't have answers for.
Yeah. Could you? Ben's the voice of reason in the New Jersey front office. They're like, "All right, we're gonna make this move," and he's just in the corner. You don't agree? Well, I didn't say that. I don't know.
I think I said something about, because it was about the time that there was like Devils and Canucks trade or something. Like this was, a rumor or whatever. And I think I said, well, Vancouver's going to want picks and prospects, and New Jersey shouldn't be giving that up. And someone's like, why would you side with New Jersey and not Vancouver? And I'm like, why am I siding with anybody? Like, I'm just saying what I
exactly.
Dude, I'm just a writer. I don't know.
I'm just saying, from my point of view, like, I don't know if you want to give up picks and prospects. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
I'm not saying they're listening to me. Like, it's if the New Jersey Devils are listening to me on Twitter, something has gone wrong.
Right. Could you imagine? They're just like,
they're like, well, what does that kid in Utica have to say? We should see what he's got to say today. Like, and
right.
They're not doing that.
Yeah,
they
your
got
Twitter
enough
account's
smart
like the
people in
magic
the
8
room.
ball.
Like,
dude,
they don't need the 30-something from Utica who just writes stories and tweets. Like,
right.
That's great.
Dixon's going to be available in a few weeks, so.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
Dude, might as well strike while the iron's hot. Get him in there.
Oh boy,
can't be worse. Like, it can't be worse, right?
Well, I got one more question for you. Then I'll let you go. But would you like to see the Comets play a few more out of division games as opposed to all the intra-division games they play?
part of me says yes, but like I understand the schedule.
Right.
I would like to see maybe more games against Hershey, like more Eastern Conference teams. Like, yeah, the West would be nice too, but from the it costs money standpoint,
right.
I don't know how that how feasible that is for.
Yeah.
Hop on a bus and go to California. Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long would
share
that
later
trip be? That would be
Get your kicks on Route 66.
yeah, that would be quite a bus trip.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I don't know. I personally would like to see, 2 or 4 more games against, say, like Hershey or Wilkes-Barre, just to make Offert's references and use the Dwight Schrute bobblehead gift that I have. Like, I got him right here.
That's great.
Love that.
I bought it. Yeah, I bought that at the Steamtown Mall in Wilkes-Barre. So
Dude, that's
Scranton,
awesome.
Sweet.
yeah, I went to Scranton. I went to the mall. It was there. I bought it. I said, I need the bobblehead. So
Totally get that. Love that.
I mean, even looking at those Providence and Bridgeport teams, like
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know if 2 and 4 games are enough, and do you really need 12 games against Syracuse from a rival standpoint? I get it, but I guess we'd like to see a little bit more against the Atlantic Division, maybe.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
go ahead, Scott.
No, I was just saying. They say the variety is the spice of life.
Well, I was going to say, if you spice it up a little bit, I mean, you look at Hershey and Utica, especially as far as like minor league hockey goes. They're like there's so much history in both those towns. It'd be fun to kind of ignite a little bit of a rivalry there. Just to play a little more.
Back in the Devils' days, that was their rival.
Right. Yeah.
The Hershey Bears was their rival.
Right.
That's why I said, I think the question was a few weeks ago on the show was, which rival would you like to reignite in Utica? And it would be like Hershey. Then you guys all looked at me like, huh? And I'm like, well, that was their original
opportunity,
rival.
not calling them the Kisses, but we'll get past it.
Oh, boy. What's wrong with you?
The town was built for the chocolate factory, Jer.
I know. I understand that. But
that's okay.
Would you want to play for a team called the Kisses?
Yes.
Of course you would. Of course you would.
If I played for the Syracuse Mets, I would be mad that we weren't the salt potatoes all year.
Let's talk to a hockey guy. Roman, would you like to play for a team called the Kisses?
No, I played for the Swamp Rabbits. That was bad enough.
Dude, Swamp Rabbits is awesome.
That was a great name. I like that.
Yeah, that's cool.
I do like the Swamp Rabbits as well.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Dude, that's okay. Fine, pick another Hershey's chocolate, Jer. They can be that.
Well, Ben, would you like to cover a team called the Kisses?
The Hershey Bars.
Oh, boy.
Yes,
there
it is. Yes, the Hershey Bars. Yes, love it.
Brain
Would
never
I like
stops.
to cover a team called the Kisses? I don't think so. I don't. It seems a weird thing to write. Like the Kisses goal or
right.
I don't know. Like
Seems like
No,
it could,
that would be something in the front office that would literally be something like I don't know, sexual harassment instantly.
he could kiss that job goodbye.
Yeah, right.
Well, that's with the puns
Hey,
alone.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
yeah.
puns in the Twitter bio. I cover kisses.
Yeah.
The puns alone.
Yeah, exactly.
Be amazing.
Oh my goodness, that is
you have
awesome.
to capture the spirit of the thing. That's for sure.
It's what time? It'll come. The love will come.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Ben, local doings. Are you going to be at the Wilkes Utica University game this weekend?
We'll have Steve Jones at the game. I'm not sure what my plan is yet. For that day, but I know we'll have someone covering it. So big game, that's for sure.
Sweet.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Rome, we never asked you. What do you think about that, the Utica University?
It's kind of weird. I agree with everybody.
It goes with everybody. Blake. I see
everybody.
The alum chimes right in. He's like,
Yeah.
No, it's great for the college.
Yes.
I think it's really great, but it's definitely going to be weird.
What are you going to call it now? It's not Utica College. UC. It's not UC.
still
What are you going to go
UC.
with?
It was UC when I was there, so it's still UC.
Rome, I said if you wanted to make it university that bad, it would flow a little better if it was University of Utica.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
You're still UU though, so
Yes.
Which is wild.
Are they still doing the UC at the anthem?
Yes. Yep.
All right, good.
Loud
Which Gary
and
did
proud.
tweet on that saying, I
okay.
still want to see the UC being said.
If
Yeah,
Gary says it,
It's the mayor.
it's happening.
Religion.
It's the mayor.
It's got to be. It's got to happen. So I don't know.
Oh, that's awesome, man. It's crazy.
that is great. That is great. Well, guys, you know what we didn't get to do today? And it just dawned on me. We didn't get to
Trivia.
do breakaway trivia.
You're going to do it now.
I'm going to do it now because I can't go a whole show without doing breakaway trivia.
And you
I
know
just
what?
can't.
Rome stuck around, so he.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hopefully he'll.
Is this a UC related?
Yeah, this is going to be a good one. Now, I don't know, Dave, did you get that file I sent you? Or
Yeah.
So I would,
Like which one?
for our friends from the Balls Army, we got a couple of businesses.
Oh yeah, those. Yeah.
Yeah, so let's pull those up for there it is right there. That's Josh Amadio's business. That's Priceless Inspections, Home Inspections. The number's right there on the screen is 315-525-8725. If you were looking to get your house inspected, that's the guy to call. And then Scott Schuster has a DJ business called Epic DJ Services. The number is 315-219-3568. I'll tell you what, if this is the guy that yells out balls out at every game, you can imagine what he's doing for you for a DJ service. So
There's a plug. There's your ad right there. That's
Yeah.
there it is.
That's a good
right there.
Shameless plug. He's also a heck of a card breaker. Anyway, you know what we should do? I got an idea. It involves Roman some other time, but go ahead. Well, to bringing up that, I think it'd be a cool idea to if we got like
Stogie Golf.
Well, no, that too, but Rome and maybe if we got another alum or somebody and we like went back and like got an archive clip or just watched an old UC game, I think it'd be really cool. Like maybe the championship game or something would be sick. Do like some in-game commentary.
But it'd be like Mystery Science Theater 3000.
I don't know. Rome, do you want to relive that?
I'd watch it.
Well, let's
do
do the
it,
breakaway
Gary.
trivia portion of it. Then we'll discuss our. Here's breakaway trivia. Who is the Utica Pioneers men's all-time points leader?
Is this for me?
This is for everybody.
For
Whoever
everybody.
wants to go first.
I'm going to go last.
Okay.
Is it Jimmy Sokol?
See, that was going to be my guess.
That's your guess, Dom?
That was
Yeah.
130 something?
Ben, you got a guess?
Part of me wants to say Calandra, but that doesn't sound right. But I'll go with Calandra.
Shake it
All
up a little bit.
And Jeremy.
Timmy Kaufman.
Jeremy
I
got it.
That's what Josh said in the chat just now.
He
God
aced
about
it.
him.
It's Timmy
He
Kaufman. Sokol had
aced it.
129.
139 points, 58 goals, and
Kaufman had
81
32.
assists. Played
Wow.
from 2008 through 2011.
Landshark had, he was in third. I don't know why I know that.
Land shark.
Do you think it has anything to do with the fact that you are always there and you talk to everybody all the time?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
That would be a smidge of the reason why.
Just a little bit.
Jared, could you tell us who's the all-time winnings coach in Utica college history?
Oh, that's a tough one.
I got to think about that for a second. Hold on.
Well, it's not.
Yeah.
Jerry Malloy.
Well, he's still thinking about it here. I'll do the wrap up. All right. Ben, where are we going to find you on social media?
Oh, well, now I got to remember it's BB_UR Sentinel because it changed. So that's on Twitter. So and then stories go on the Sentinel Media Company's Facebook page. But I got my own, like I said, my own Twitter is and tweet from there. So follow me there. Largely because it looks like a happy face, the B and the underscore.
I appreciate that you like to use the all the time too. I see you tweet that quite a bit. It's great. It's great. It's so, dude. You tweeted at me one time like, what do I know? And I was like, that's so perfect.
I actually have that saved in my phone, so I can just just a few clicks. It's not something I have to copy and paste every time. So
that's awesome. That's awesome.
Roman, I forgot to ask you, does Stogie Golf have a Twitter account?
Yeah, we do. Got Twitter, Instagram, and my website. I have a TikTok too, but that's for the spring. That's for the spring.
That's all Dom. That's all
Oh
Dom.
boy, yeah. Hire Dom to be your TikTok consultant.
I crush TikTok.
He is the king of TikTok.
Ridiculous. It's insane.
It's a hell of a way to friggin' get noticed. I'll tell you.
Between
that.
my two accounts, I have like 10,000 followers.
Nice. That's sick.
Yeah, I know a thing or two. It's not that hard. You just keep doing it.
Yeah.
It's really not.
I know.
And if you get the bonus plan, he'll do a dance on there too. So
that's the thing. Never dance.
Once I get to go on the golf course, we'll be doing some stuff.
Dude, I got really lucky last baseball season with all the sticky stuff thing going on. Trevor Bauer made that video. Like, what is that? So I just recreated it with everything he said, and it got 1 million views. 978,000. Like, it was close to 1 million. It was like right there. But yeah,
you know what's going to beat that record? I'll tell you exactly what's going to beat that record. If the Comets win the Calder Cup and you get that tattoo.
Yeah, Ben, I don't know if you know about that, but I made a promise on the show.
I think I saw it on Twitter.
There's a number of people, including the Section 233 crazies from the New Jersey Devils fans, are holding me accountable. So Rome's like, oh god,
and we will have the Sentinel there covering it as well.
Boy.
You're going viral, pal.
Oh boy!
Listen, I'll do it. For the gram, man. I don't care.
Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy!
I think guys, you post something about it on Twitter or something. So,
I figure I'm a big Utica guy. Why not have it on the old body?
Oh yeah.
I'm not gonna get a Pioneers logo because Gary will bash my head in probably.
And it'll probably change.
Listen, if that happens, you get the Comets tattoo. We got to put it on the video board to open the season next year. It'll be part of the pump up video.
Yeah, that'll totally 100%. Yeah, everyone will love that. Yeah, right. I already have enough reputation at the audit.
Oh man,
can't walk through there without shaking 15 hands. It drives me nuts.
Yeah, well,
no offense. Love all of you that are listening.
You are the mayor of the odd.
Wrong place to say that. Wrong place to say that.
They know I say it with love.
Oh boy! Well, you see,
can you give me a Balls Army shirt? I don't know. Why don't you ask them?
Yeah, right.
I'm slinging shirts like Scott over here. It's crazy.
Oh my gosh! Alrighty. Well, listen, guys. Roman, thank you for coming on and taking the time. And Ben, same here. I mean, this has been a lot of fun, guys. We really appreciate you coming on. So we'll be recording Tuesday next week because we have a Comets game on Wednesday night. So we are definitely all going to be there for that one.
I hate weeknight games.
Yeah,
Syracuse.
Well, you'll be there, and you know it.
I have to be there.
Yes, it is Syracuse. You're right.
You'll be there, and you'll hear me from 206. Great job, Jer!
Oh,
All
Rome, you
right.
don't know I clean the ice for the comments.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh boy.
Well, thank you to Roman Ammirato. Thank you to Ben Birnell, for Jeremy Roberts, for Dom Grill, for Dave, the Save Warner. I'm Scott Kinville. Thanks for listening, and we will see you next week on Marty's Illegal Stick Hockey Podcast.
Love the towel.